OnePlus 7T Review. Android just got its best all-rounder yet. Few phones get everything just right every once in a while, and the OnePlus 7T is another shining example of that. And given that it costs less than Rs 40,000, it's a steal. Grab it while you can. Classic OnePlus design with a twist. No matter how much of sci-fi tech a phone packs in, a phone has to look and feel good at first. Design has always been a priority for OnePlus. Whether it's the smart-looking OnePlus 3 from 2016 or the gorgeous OnePlus 7 Pro from early this year, if the phone has got an OnePlus branding at the back, it got to be classy for its time. The case stands true till date with the OnePlus 7T. To a normal person, the OnePlus 7T looks identical to the OnePlus 7, except for the new camera module design. To the eyes of us geeks though, everything's new. And even in reality, every bit is new about the design of the OnePlus 7T, and yet somehow it feels familiar as a OnePlus device. Apple is only the other brand to achieve this. The front still has a familiar OnePlus 7-esque identity with its narrow bezel edge-to-edge screen and cute little water drop notch. However, the notch is smaller than before and the corners of the screen are more angular in nature. To the back, it's a clean design with a massive circular camera hump. This circular camera hump is quite controversial. Many say it's an inspiration from the new design trend established by the iPhone 11 Pro and hence fits in quite well with the times. It reminds the Nokia Lumia 1020's camera module. Others have straightaway rubbished the design, asking OnePlus to bring back the clean design from the OnePlus 7. The older slim camera module designs from the OnePlus 7 Pro. The circular design is too bold for the rest of the phone's design, which is simply elegant with its matte frosted glass back. There's a lot of empty space inside the camera hump and OnePlus could have arranged the lenses in a better way to keep the design busy. To keep the camera hump from jutting out like an eyesore, I strapped on the carbon case from OnePlus and it did make it look better. Whether you like the new camera design or not is completely a personal preference. However, at 190 grams, the OnePlus 7T is lighter in comparison to the OnePlus 7 Pro, and the extra millimeters chiseled off here and there make the phone easy to hold. The matte finish though makes it quite slippery, so keep a case on it always. Democratizing the 90Hz smoothness. The OnePlus 7 Pro still has the best phone display experience. The smoothness of the 90Hz refresh rate and excellent color profile tuning makes it ideal for watching movies or reading. OnePlus has tried to bring some of that awesomeness to the OnePlus 7T's display and it sort of works. The display measures 6.55 inches and uses a full HD Plus optic AMOLED panel. The panel has a refresh rate of 90 Hz and supports HDR10 Plus colors. The notch on the top is noticeable at first, but once you get used to it, it sort of disappears from your consciousness. As for the display, it's bright and produces vivid colors and high contrasts. Every app and web page looks colorful, although you can choose the color profiles to get a more natural tone if that's what you seek. However, OnePlus had pushed for the Quad HD Plus resolution on this one as well. The screen gets quite bright at 1000 nits, which is a blessing under sunlight. The optical in-display fingerprint sensor works a tad faster than before, and instead of the green glow from the older models, the new sensor shines bright white light at your finger to get the reading. Overall, the screen on the OnePlus 7T is great, but it's still short of the awesome one on the OnePlus 7 Pro. It's fast and smooth, as expected. OnePlus phones are silly fast, a fact that will go down in history books as a universal truth. No matter what you throw, a OnePlus phone will never bog down nor struggle with apps, unless the app is buggy. This stays true for all OnePlus phones, and it is true for the OnePlus 7T as well. Under the hood is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset, and this is the fastest chip any Android phone manufacturer can use right now. The CPU is clocked at 2.9 GHz and can offer 4% better performance than its older sibling, whereas the GPU gets a 14% boost for graphics performance. This is paired with 8 GB RAM as standard and UFS 3.0 type storage. If you know tech, this is the stuff you dream about on your phone. However, the hardware is just 50% of the story, and it's the software that has to manage the rest of the 50% to get the best out of it. On the OnePlus 7T, we have the new Oxygen OS 10 based on Android 10, which again is the best you can get in Android verse. Together, these offer a user experience that's unseen on any other Android phone, except for recent OnePlus phones. Everything is literally fast and smooth on the OnePlus 7T. Whether you open apps or games, juggle between a couple of them at a time, or catch up on your high-resolution movies, the phone can bear anything. The extra GPU performance is visible while playing your PUBG Mobile match at the ultra frame rate settings with high graphics. It does heat up slightly but never settles down for a breather. You got the pun, didn't you? However, Oxygen OS plays a major role in keeping everything fast and smooth. The UI looks neat and is smartly arranged, similar to the previous versions. OnePlus has consolidated the system theme settings under the customization option in settings, which is helpful. The new gesture navigation system from Android 10 makes its way to Oxygen OS, but with certain OnePlus tweaks to make it more responsive and natural. And thanks to the bigger vibration motor, the haptic feedback on every gesture is excellent. So it's fast and smooth, as OnePlus said. But there's more. OnePlus is now adding more value to Oxygen OS instead of just being a clean Android skin. There's OnePlus Cloud Service that offers free cloud storage up to 5 GB for your personal data, with the first year offering 50 GB free data. Zen mode gets time adjustment, and there are new interesting live wallpapers. And later next year, OnePlus Pay, which will be OnePlus foray into the digital payment service sector, will come in as an Oxygen OS feature. As for the audio performance, the dual stereo speakers are loud and clear even in high volumes. Most of the times, you won't need a headphone while sharing a YouTube or IGTV video with friends. However, you will need headphones or speakers if you are planning on watching movies or listening to songs. Good camera experience now becomes great. The OnePlus 7 dual camera setup to be great for taking photos as a casual user. However, Shutterbugs found the single camera system, the second camera was just a depth sensor, to be restrictive. OnePlus took note of that and fixed it with the OnePlus 7T. Now, we have a triple camera system at the back, and it's extremely versatile as the setup on the OnePlus 7 Pro. The main camera retains the 48-megapixel Sony IMX586 sensor with an f1.6 lens and OIS assistance. The second unit is now a 16-megapixel wide-angle camera with a 17mm lens, whereas the third camera is a 12-megapixel telephoto camera offering 2x optical zoom. A dual-tone LED flash is present as usual. These three cameras offer better results than what the OnePlus 7 did, but there are big buts. The main camera is as great as the 48-megapixel camera can be on any phone right now. Photos in daylight have plenty of details with vibrant colors and high contrasts. However, in typical OnePlus fashion, the colors are always slightly boosted to make photos look better than what you see in reality. In the most conditions, it works, but at times, you wish OnePlus had a switch to turn off the post-processing altogether. As light levels start falling, the camera tries to keep the image sharp while keeping the colors vivid. However, you will see some noise creep up if you zoom in. And at night, the noise is visible around light sources. However, exposure management is good and the colors are boosted slightly to keep photos from looking dull. On the whole, the main camera takes overall stunning looking photos in all lighting conditions. The telephoto camera in 2x zoom optical zoom takes clear photos in daylight with vivid colors that are slightly boosted than what you see and similar to the main camera, you start seeing grains creeping up in low light conditions. Without OIS, you will have to keep your hands quite steady to get sharp images. The wide-angle camera is decent in comparison to the other two cameras as the colors appear slightly dull in its photos. The colors seem muted compared to what you see for real, and in low light, wide-angle photos lose sharpness and color accuracy by a massive margin. You will need to edit these photos to get the best out of them. OnePlus has built in a new macro mode that uses the wide-angle camera to take close-up shots. The photos in this mode come out highly detailed with spot-on colors in daylight. However, as light levels fall, there's deterioration in sharpness and clarity here as well. Portrait mode photos get the subject separation right 80% of the times with accurate edge detection and subtle background blurring. Nightscape comes in handy to get clear photos at night with better exposures and aggressive noise suppression to get higher detail levels. In fact, suggest you stick to Nightscape in challenging light situations for always getting the best results, even if you have to wait for 3-4 seconds. When it comes to videos, you can record videos at up to 4K resolution at 60 fps. In 4K, videos come out clear with great color vibrancy and brightness. However, for better stability, shooting in 1080p at 60 fps is a better option. There's a super stable mode that only allows shooting in 1080p, and it uses both OIS and eyes to ensure the best stability. In regular 1080p mode, all the three cameras are available for videos, but you can only use the main camera in the rest of the modes. The 16-megapixel selfie camera takes brilliant photos in daylight and well-lit conditions. Selfies come out sharp with vivid colors and bright tones. However, that's only the case in daylight, and as usual in low light or during the night, the images look blurry and lose details, but the colors are boosted. Overall, the cameras on the OnePlus 7T offer more versatility than the OnePlus 7, but the performance isn't as good as the camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro. However, for its price category, these are one of the best phone cameras, if not the best, under Rs 40,000. Turbocharged charging for an all-day battery. The battery size is something where the upgrade from the OnePlus 7 seems marginal. There's now a 3800 mAh unit underneath that's still good enough for an entire day's battery life under moderate usage. This moderate usage involves incessant testing, close to 2 hours of web browsing in Chrome, 4 hours of music streaming over Bluetooth headphones, an hour of YouTube sessions, and taking calls in between. However, OnePlus has worked on the battery efficiency along with software optimizations to ensure faster charging speeds. With the 30-watt Swarp charger, OnePlus claims 18% faster charging speeds than the system on the OnePlus 7 Pro. I filled up the battery from 2% to 100% in almost an hour, and that's impressive. OnePlus calls it the Warp Charge 30T, but I would call it Warp Charge 30 Supercharged. Conclusion. What is it that most Indian smartphone buyers look for in a premium phone? Fast and non-fussy performance, good cameras, one-day battery with fast charging, a big display and design to massage their ego. And after taking a close look at the OnePlus 7T, it seems to have delivered on the core requirements of the Indian consumer. The display and cameras are undeniably the key reasons that make the OnePlus 7T special. Club the super-fast Warp Charge 30T technology along with the faster Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset and the buttery smooth Oxygen OS, and you have a phone that's near perfect. And even with that controversial circular camera hump, it still will turn heads wherever you go. The improvements to the OnePlus 7T come in more as generational upgrades rather than mere updates. And this makes the OnePlus 7T extremely desirable even for those who got the OnePlus 7 a few months ago. The higher starting price of Rs 37,999 is something that consumers won't like, but the extra you invest over the regular OnePlus 7 is worth every penny. In fact, think of the OnePlus 7T as a cut-price OnePlus 7 Pro that's been adapted for the more practical smartphone seekers. It's got all the flagship features you want, not need, at a price that still makes it a killer deal. This is the all-rounder the Android verse has been waiting for long.